Hey, so right away, people think that in order to live a good life, a happy life, you have to spend oodles and bundles of money or just throw it around and just have it to trash around all over the place. And that's their idea of a good life. I want to talk to you today about my 8 unspoken and zero cost ways that I like to live a good life. And I'll be back in a minute. Hey, I'm Jan. Welcome to the Save Money and More channel. How you doing today? Hope that this audio video, as always, finds everybody doing well. I want to talk to you today about my 8 unspoken ways that I personally not only like to save money, but to live a good life. You can live a great life and not have tons and tons of money to throw around. I'm just saying. Number one, I do not, and this is a big one for me, I do not make promises or commitments to others that I cannot keep. No, no, no. First of all, to make a promise to someone and deep down in your heart you don't plan to keep it is just to me inherently wrong. It's pretty much kind of like a lie. So if I don't plan to keep a promise to someone, I rather not keep a promise or lead someone on to think that I'm going to commit to, let's say, meeting them somewhere if I have no intention of doing it because I really don't want to go to that place or deal with that situation. It is really important to be honest with oneself, but not only honest with oneself, be honest with your friends or your family, because first of all, it's the right thing to do. Second of all, I don't want to have it in the back of my mind. Oh, but I promised this one and that one, this one. I really don't want to do that thing. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Next. Okay. Where is this? I prioritize. I'm reading this off my list because I didn't want you to miss a beat. Okay. I prioritize where my money goes. Yes, I do. It is a given in my life that all the basic needs are going to be met. There's never a question or a doubt about that. That is just a given. To live a life where it's unsure if your basic needs are going to be met is a very tough life, and it's not an easy life. So rather than that, I rather prioritize things and make sure that all the essentials are always taken care of without blinking an eyelash. Now, there are many people who want the same thing and they're having struggles to do that. And I get that. But then there are people who don't have the resources and yet, unfortunately, do not prioritize things in the right place, like basic needs, and maybe spend money they do not have and charge things on credit cards and then scratch their head at the end of the month in a room where the lights have gone out. To me, personally, I find that's a struggle. I find that it doesn't make sense. And it's just something I couldn't do. It's just something I could not do. So for myself, and I'm only speaking for myself, I prioritize where my money goes. And it goes without saying, basic needs have to be met. Just saying, just saying. All right, next. And this is important as well. Number three, I plan my meals around my budget and not my budget around my meals. It's sort of like the same thing. It's like sometimes people maybe want to have that porterhouse steak. I'm just using that as an example, where I'm the type of person, well, I don't mind the taste of porterhouse steak, but if I have a beef stew budget, at the moment, then I'll work with that. And by the way, with your slow cooker and braising your meat, you don't have to spend a ton of money on meat. And that's another show. And we've spoken about this in the past anyway. So basically, and I'll repeat it because it makes sense. I plan my meals around my budget and not my budget around my meals. All right, there you go. Just saying, just saying. All right. Next, portion control is key. As I got older, not only for dietary reasons, when you look at, let's say, a jar of jelly or a package of butter, read what the portions really say, or like cream cheese. You'll be shocked and amazed at their idea of a portion and the calorie count versus what, let's say, one must, many times ends up doing out of habit, that maybe speaking to someone and putting dollops and dollops of cream cheese or butter or something mindlessly on their food. We need to pay a little more attention to our portions. I've been trying to do that. And can I tell you, it works. Not just for the waistline, because you could lose a couple of pounds here and there doing it that way, but actually even for your budget, for your grocery budget. That's why I always tell you I'm a bit of a bean counter. And shockingly, over time, it really works. So I'm more mindful. So portion control with food is key. All right. Next, I find joy in the simple things. I don't need fancy schmancy. I personally, I'm not telling other people what to do. I'm just sharing how I feel about things. Okay. So, this is my life and this is how I feel about things. I personally, Jan, I do not, and I never did need fancy schmancy to be happy. I find joy in the simple things. I like prayerful meditation. I like to start the day off with prayerful meditation. It's a very wonderful time of the day. It clears the air. It's a clean slate for a new day, asking God for strength to get through the day and perhaps make it even a great day with the help of God. This is stuff that works for me. And in all probability, I do believe by faith that it works for others. Prayerful meditation, or exercising as well. Exercising is key. It's a mood lifter, walking out in the crisp, fresh air. Even when it's hot out in the summer, go out a little earlier when it's cool. And you'll feel, the health benefits. Throwing a frisbee, all the simple stuff, or a ball, whatever you can do. Now, not everybody can physically do certain things. Work with the situation that you can work with at hand. And as always, check with your doctor to work within those parameters. But I personally find joy in the simple stuff. I don't need fancy schmancy. Just saying, just saying. Next, I love accomplishing simple but daily tasks, business as usual. Did you ever catch a cold? Okay, and you're out of commission for a week or so. Like maybe it's even more than a cold, like the flu, and it knocks you off your feet a good week and a half. Don't you feel out of sorts? Your whole day is messed up. Your usual routine is probably gone to the wayside, and you don't feel right, not only physically because you're unwell and your body's trying to recover. And I'm not saying you shouldn't get the necessary rest and do all the good stuff that you're supposed to do to recover. But don't you feel a little badly about missing out on some of the stuff? I guess it is a form of FOMO, fear of missing out. But like when you get back in the swing of things, you get back into your normal routine and you're feeling much better. You feel like you can accomplish the world. So for me, especially when we're feeling great, I love personally accomplishing simple but daily tasks that actually may not mean the world to other people, but might mean the world to myself. So that includes, let's say, being creative. And in my case, I like to create my videos. I do. I don't have to make these videos. I do it because I wish to make these videos. And if I can share a helpful tip or two or put a smile on someone else's face, to me, hey, I got the job done. Makes me feel better about life. I don't have to do any of this, but I do it because I wish to do it. Next, I love to find ways to repurpose things at home, even if it means finding that jar, that jar that you really think is cute. I'll give an example. My Happy Belly instant coffee jar is the cutest thing. It is just so cute. I think they recently changed the name of it. It is a jar. It sort of has like a square top to it. It's the cutest thing, and it's plastic. But I find ways to repurpose it. Every time I find a new way to repurpose my jars, I feel a tiny sense of accomplishment. It's just so cute, whether it's placing candy in them, saving those jars for future holiday gifts or birthday or anniversary gifts. Whatever the case may be, I did it. And I like repurposing things. Next, keeping a grateful, contrite, and happy heart makes for a much better day. You want to know why the whole world is dragging down lately? Because people are losing hope, in my opinion, of things, because they're not taking that minute to take a deep breath, look around, say, you know what? We may not have much. and maybe we can have a lot better. But can't we be happy in our own situations? And if we're not happy in our own situations, we are given the gift of being able to take it and fix it, whatever the fix may be. So I'm wishing everybody to have their own happy, unspoken ways of finding joy each and every day. It doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. It doesn't have to cost a fortune. But the most important thing one can do is be true to yourself.